Thank you. Part 3 of Destiny Destroyers. And this same time, I'm going to be taking my text from 2 Samuel chapter 13. Because we actually dealt with chapter 11. Alright? Then between chapter 11 and chapter 13, we have chapter 12. Chapter 12 actually reveals the encounter that Nathan, the prophet, had with David after what he did in chapter 11. Alright? Because in chapter 12, we saw the judgment that came upon David. David received the judgment because David actually judged himself. Prophet Nathan is a prophet that deals with parables. It doesn't come to you directly. So he came to David and told David, I'm coming, we'll soon get to chapter 13. He came to David and told David, there's a man, he had many sheep. And he had a neighbor who had only one sheep. So the man who had many sheep had a guest. Instead of taking from his many sheep to cook for his guest, he left his many sheep and took the only sheep of the neighbor and cooked for his guest. So David heard it and he said, a man who would do that deserves to die. So Nathan looked at David. He said, you are that man. You are that man you are saying is going to die. Actually, because of what you have done with Uriah's wife and the rest, God has said death will remain in your camp. Death will be in your family. You have the battle with your family. So that was chapter 12. Now let's move to chapter 13. Chapter 13, verse 3 to 5. All right, 3 to 5. We'll not jump some scriptures. We'll move to verse 12 to 15 to help us. So chapter 13, 3 to 5. Verse 3. And Amnon, please take your Bible very seriously. And Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab. So say Jonadab, the son of Shimeah, David's brother. Jonadab was a very subtle person. Say subtle. Yes, he was a very subtle person. All right. So verse 4. And he said unto him, why art thou being the king's son lean from day to day? Will thou not tell me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother's Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down. Please listen very well. Lay thee down. Jonadab said to him now, to Amnon, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. Not sickness made you sick. Make thy what? Thyself sick. Wow. And when thy father cometh to see thee, because he's sick, you will not say to him, I pray thee, O king. Who is this king here? David. All right. He says, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat it at her hand. Verse 12. Are you sure you are here? Verse 12 to 15. And she answered him. So now Tamar answered Amnon. And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not do this folly. Folly means foolishness. Don't do this folly. All right? That's verse what now? Verse 12. Now move to verse 13. Please, learn to do Bible study. Verse 13. And I will, whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, this is Tamar speaking now, how will I cause the shame that is coming to go? And as for you, Amnon, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. Verse 14. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, but be stronger than she, forced her and lay with her. Verse 15. And Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said to her, rise and go. So I think we did like six destroyers of destiny. Okay, now let's make this the seventh one. Unholy association. Unholy association. Before we push further on the association, I like us to do a little background of this family of David, of how come now Amnon had a sister called Tamar from a brother called Absalom. So that means it was obviously a polygamous family. David had many wives. Actually, when you study the scriptures, it's called that David had about 8 wives. How many wives? That's the ones he married. The ones he married, they were 8 in number, not concubines. He married them. The first one is Michal. You can begin to take note of them. Michal. Michal is M-I-L-C-H-A-L. Michal. All right. Michal is the daughter of Saul. You remember the killing of Goliath? That there was a promise made whoever kills Goliath, that his father's house will be free, and that the king will give the person his daughter as wife. So when David killed Goliath, Michal was given to David as wife. But because of the battles that David was fighting, because David was not even running from Saul. He killed Goliath, but he was running from Saul. And this is the mystery of life. Saul could not kill Goliath, but David could kill Goliath, but David was running from Saul. Do you understand? Are you following me? The person, he couldn't kill Goliath, so they brought David to kill Goliath. Now David killed Goliath, but David was running from Saul. So while David was running away, all of those things, you know what Saul did? Saul now gave Michal to somebody else and said, David is not serious. How can he marry you and he's not around? Whereas he's the one looking for David to kill. So they took Michal and gave to somebody else. So when David came back, David now moved to the second wife, Abigail. Of course, you know Abigail, the wife of Nabal. Nabal that died, all right? Nabal, the foolish man who died. There are some people who are foolish. They are born mumu. Nabal was like that. He was a foolish man by his name. That is when they gave birth to Nabal, they just called him mumu. Naming ceremony, they saw his destiny, that he was a fool. So they gave him what? Because Abigail said he is a fool as his name is. So Nabal died, so David took the wife. All right? Nabal was a Carmelite. Maybe he says he was Carmelite, but I don't know. The third wife of David, Ahinoam, is the third wife. Ahinoam is spelled as Ahinoam. Please take note of these details. I'm building us the service, okay? Ahinoam was the third wife. The fourth wife was Bathsheba. Of course, Bathsheba we read in chapter 11. Because when Uriah died, David had the way of excavating the widows of the people. He excavated the widow of Nabal. He excavated the widow of Uriah. All right? So the fourth wife was Bathsheba. Bathsheba now is the mother of Solomon. I hope you know. Because the child they had from that affair, before Uriah died, or after Uriah died, that child died. The child died. The child was innocent, but the child died because the foundation was completely rough. It was completely off. But somehow God had mercy on David, and Bathsheba conceived again and bore Solomon. All right? Now, the fifth wife of David is the daughter of a man called Tamai. How would you write all this down? He's the king of Geshur. This daughter of Tamar is called Maacah, not Maacah. Maacah, double A, Maacah. All right. This Maacah is the mother of Absalom that we talked about in chapter 13. We read from now. Is the mother of who? Of Absalom. All right. Now, David had a sixth one. That one was called the sixth wife, Haggith, double G. Then had the seventh one, Abital. Then the eighth one, Eglah. Actually, Amnon, you know, I've told you about Absalom now. The mother of Absalom is called Maacah. Now we're talking about Amnon also. Amnon is the first son from Ahinoam. Ahinoam is the third wife. Absalom is from the fifth wife. All right. Amnon is from the third wife. Okay, so the son of the third wife and the son of the fifth wife, they are the ones we are considering in chapter 13. That opens up chapter 13. All right. So now Absalom had a sister. So Amnon began to, because the girl was fair, she was beautiful. When you say beautiful, not beautiful, there's a difference between beautiful and beautiful. The pronunciation tells you that the beauty is not from this world. Bible said she was a fair girl to look upon. So Amnon, as saw the sister going about her life, her daily affair, Absalom began to look at Tamar and said, I wish I could just have her to myself. And of course, and have knowledge of her. The Bible uses some words for intercourse. It uses to have carnal knowledge. All right? I could have a knowledge of her. So Amnon began to think about it, began to obsess. It was obsessed every day. It was thinking about it. The thing was eating him up. That his friend Jonadab came to visit one day and said, Amnon, why is it that every day you are becoming lean? That's to tell you, the thing that was eating Amnon up was not a virus. It was just lust. It was becoming lean every day. Yes, he was losing shape. He was losing flesh and fat every day. So he opened up. Amnon opened up to his friend Jonadab and said, actually, I'm not sick. There is just one thought that refused to leave my head. It has been there persistent, day and night. The thought is there. It's what the thought. Share with me, my friend. So Jonathan began to listen. Amnon told him and said, actually, my brother's sister, Absalom's sister, Tamar, have you seen her? That girl is something else. She is a queen. She's a goddess. She's out of this world. She's one of a kind in this generation. I just want to have her to myself. I can't bear the thought of her married on that man. I can't just let her go like that. So Jonathan looked at him and said, you really want to have her? Because I see that you are getting sick now. You really want to have her? Is that what we heal you of your sickness? Amnon said, yes, that's what's going to heal me. Once I have her, I will start recovering. This is not virus. This is not bacteria. This is not fungi. I'm not having typhoid, malaria, fever. I'm not having any of those things you can test. This one is emotional sickness. I'm dying slowly. Jonathan said, okay, now I have a strategy for you. You have a problem. This is a strategy. Do as if you are sick. In fact, make yourself sick. And let when your father hear that you are sick, he will come and see you. So your father comes. Tell him you have only one wish. Are you sure you are still here? You have only one wish. That, oh king, my father, I wish my sister Tamar can come and give me meat on a plate and dress it in my presence. That will eat it. The father said, okay, is that what you need? Okay, she's your sister now. I will just call her innocently. All right? People have entered the problem innocently. That's why ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So David invited Tamar. At the king's command, the daughter moved and brought some cuisines, some meat as it were, some kelechi, some suya. Brought them and said, my brother, this is it. He said, no, don't serve me the food where people are. People that came to visit him. No, serve me this food in my bedroom, in my chamber. So she said, there's no problem. He followed the brother. They go to the room. He began to prepare it and dress it. All of a sudden, people are talking. You are not getting what I'm saying. If you miss this message, you can miss your destiny. All of a sudden, the door was shut. So only Amnon and Tamar were left. So Amnon grabbed her hand and said, my sister, lay with me. That was how you had that conversation from verse 3. When verse 3 and verse 4, he said, this thing you want to do now, you will cover me with shame. But you will be counted as one of the foolish men in Israel. You will be one of the foolish people in Israel. It will never go away. Bible said he refused her. And being a man, Amnon stronger than Tamar, he forced her and had his way. When it was done now, of course, you see that in the last other verses I read, it's quite what happened was that now Amnon has done what he has always wanted to do in a long time that he didn't do, that made him sick, as it were. He finally had done it. Now, Bible said the hatred which he had for her was stronger. It superseded the love, in quotes, he had for her. The way he was attracted to her was not up to the same level. He now detested her and cast her out from his sight. Don't forget the role that Jonathan played in all of this. Don't forget the role he played. Jonathan was the one that gave him the strategy. Am I correct? I can't hear you now. So as it were, Amnon had the potential for this thing to happen, but he could not change the potential. In physics, we have what we call kinetic energy and potential energy. Potential energy is what you can do, but you have not done yet. is just inside. Kinetic energy is the energy now as you are doing it that is being emitted. So now the person who unlocked that potential, evil potential in Amnon was Jonadab. He brought the counsel. He brought the master plan, as it were. Are you still here? But this same strategy that was used here now, that was introduced in this same chapter 13, do you know that down the Bible, down the scriptures, from verse 23 downwards, Absalom also used this same strategy. So Absalom, after 2 years, Absalom is the elder brother of Tamar. Are you here? We're in the Bible class. Is the elder brother of Tamar. When this thing happened, it is because that his own brother has slept with his sister. Absalom didn't really do anything. He just kept quiet. He liked to slide by. Everybody just move on. Forgiveness has moved in the atmosphere. One big family. Absalom kept quiet. After 2 years, after 2 years. So after 2 years, Absalom took that same strategy that Jonadab sold to Amnon and took it up. What was the strategy? He said, "My father, I'm sharing my sheep." 2 years have passed, so that's to tell you that David has forgotten. He said, "Father, I'm sharing my sheep. Could you follow me?" Father said, "No, I'm busy." He said, "Okay, if you will not follow me, please, specifically, can you talk to my brother Amnon?" You know Amnon that slept with Absalom's sister? Tell Amnon that he should come and represent you, as it were, in my sheep sharing. The father objected. Bible said he persuaded David. David now said, okay, it's your brother. You know that kind of thing. He now says it's your brother. So he now instructed Amnon and said, "Your brother Absalom is sharing sheep. I can't go. At least you should be there." So Amnon, innocently, forgetting what he has done, went for the sheep sharing. You see the same strategy Jonadab sold. Jonadab sold to Amnon. Is what he used, insisting that David should come. And when David comes, that David should insist that Tamar should be the one to visit him and give him food. Now Absalom is insisting that Amnon, who did that to Tamar, should be the one that will come, no other person. Are you hearing me now? So they went for the sheep shearing. Meanwhile, Absalom has told his men, he said, "There is only one man you will target when we are having this party of sharing sheep." Sharing of sheep is like a festival, as it were. Let's say, for example, now like New Yam Festival, as it were. You know yams will be harvested. All right, people will gather. They'll be eating all kind of food. Some will be doing this and doing that. So it was like a feast, as it were. You know, said now when we are feasting, and when you now see that Amnon has taken wine, he's no longer in his senses. I would say wine is a destroyer. Once he has taken wine, you know that now he is drunk with wine. Please shut the door. Make sure that Amnon does not escape. If he escapes from your hand, your life will go. It was as serious as that. So Amnon went and began to drink. "Oh, my brother is sharing sheep. What a wonderful year of harvest." Amnon was happy. He didn't know there was a plan against him. He took wine. He drank wine. Maybe they gave him his favorite wine. There are people who drink wine. They have favorite ones. Maybe he had a favorite one. It gave to him in excess. They served him. He drank it. He what? In fact, that day they be so nice to him. So what? Nice to him. When people become nice to you, suddenly become nice to you, can I tell you something? Become very, very careful. You may be eating your last meal, because even prisoners that are execution row, they give them their last meal. They ask them their last wish, because they know there will not be another one. It's a moment of departure. So they gave him his favorite one. He was carried away. He began to gulp it. I watched the video. Are you still here with me? I'm trying to take on the journey. So Amnon drank. He didn't know. So all of a sudden, the doors were locked, windows were locked, and they targeted Amnon and killed him. After 2 years, he died. Wrong association. But you know the power of association? Association is fuel. Is what? Fuel. F-U-E-L. Or fuel, whatever you call it. Association is the fuel for manifestation. So once a wrong person is giving it, you will manifest wrongly. You will manifest wrongly. In First Samuel, when you read the Bible, you see the ordination of Saul as a king. He was made a king in 1 Samuel 10 verse 10. All right, but in verse 10, that is verse 10 of chapter 10, the person who ordained him was Samuel, the prophet. He ordained him not to be a prophet. He ordained him to be a king of Israel. But in verse 10 of chapter 10, as soon as Saul left Samuel, God said he came in the company of prophets and began to prophesy. Somebody who had kingly anointing began to prophesy because he came in the company of prophets. There are people you will be around, you will be among them. Something inside of you don't know what's there will be made manifest. That's why I call 4 levels of knowledge. You can take it down. I've said it before. 4 levels of knowledge. The first one is unknown incompetence. Unknown incompetence. You are not capable and you don't know you're not capable. You are a fool. Nobody can teach you. Because if they try teaching you, you will be proving you know. The second one, the second level, is that now you are not capable. It's non-incompetence. But you know that you don't know. So that one they can teach you. The third level many of us stops by is the one I call the known competence. You know that you know.